Hello everyone, today I have part 2 of my album. So this is just the base of the album. So if you didn't see, I have a video that I created for Jaded Blossom mini beach release. That was on Friday, super cute. So you can see the whole album done on there and how I put all the layers. So here, I'm just going to show you how I did the base. And I'm gonna glue this. So if you've seen, I traced my B and the E and then cut it with scissors. Skip that. I left it because I wanted to show you that take X-Acto knife and go around it is best. So see, I'm gonna have to do that anyways because there's so much paper I can't sand it off. There's too much. So I'm going to show you, and you want to make sure that all your glue is nice and flat all over. So there I go. So you're going to follow your chipboard album and with your X-Acto knife, and then after take a sandpaper and just go all around. So I have even a nail filer, there you go. Anyways, so whatever you have, use what you have on hand. So here, this is how I created my letters, because you wanted, I kind of wanted the word to pop out. So if I would have just left it plain, I think you would have lost the beach, right? And yeah, the whole theme of Jaded Blossom was the beach. So that's how I created them. There's probably a better way, but this on hand, that's what I had. So I just traced it a little darker, and I know it's not perfect, but when I cut it, I tried to make it more straight and everything. So here I'm just cutting my piece of paper, and I'm just gonna tack it down just lightly with a little bit of glue onto Nina White solo paper, 110 pounds, so it's a little sturdier because I am going to pop them up also with some dimension, because I really want them to pop and be the focal here. And here I'm just gonna gently pull all away the printing paper. That's all I used. So I do a pretty good job. You'll see on my A later on, I did pull a little bit of the paper off, but that's okay because I put a starfish and no one knows after that, right? So I don't think on my first video I kind of said the paper I used on here. Oh, before I go there. So I put my B and my E over top, and I'm just putting pencil where I think I need to cut a little bit more because you want it kind of even, the space. So I'm going to trim that off, because you want to see the pattern paper in between there. And I'm going to trim a little bit more on the bottom of the E here. Alright, so for the paper I use is from Doodlebug, the 12 by 12, the Seaside Summer for the base. And here I'm going to pop my letters. So yeah, the 12 by 12 Seaside Summer. And I do use the 6 by 6 on some of the cuts that I decorate with. So yeah, I use both the 12 by 12 and a 6 by 6. So here I'm going to show you how I did the second and the third and the fourth. Love it. So I cover the whole thing with some glue, and I skip a little because you don't have to see it all. And then I just put a piece of paper, I just cut it about the same size, have a little bit of overhang, and make sure that it's nice and glued down. And I'm going to trim. Much better than tracing it with pencil, cutting with the scissors, and then doing the same thing anyways. You have to go and trim some of that stuff off anyways. So yes, X-Acto knife is your best friend on this. So I had found this kit for the album laying around a couple weeks ago after I just got my Jaded Blossom. So it was a perfect timing to find this album. It's like I forgot I even had this one. And it's like, okay, put that on the side. That's what I'm doing for Jaded Blossom. So it worked out perfect. So here I'm just gluing the back, and I am covering that little seagull. I'm not cutting those little pieces. So there's some, most pieces have a little cutout, and I just ignore them. See, there's one there. I'm just gonna ignore it because it's way too much work to cut it out, and it doesn't look really nice. So yeah, I just ignore it and glue on top. The only thing you do not want to do is ignore your little holes, because that's how you're gonna put your albums together. So yeah, so every layer, cut your holes out, put another layer, cut your hole, so you don't forget about them. So there it is on that side. And here I poke the hole right there. Like, yeah, if you put the 2 layers, you might not find those holes anymore. So it's much easier to do it every time. And here I wasn't sure if I wanted to cut the inside of the B and the E, so I left them for a little bit, but I do eventually cut them out. So I'm going to glue for my H here. So like I said, on Friday I did a video for Jaded Blossom. So if you want to see my album all done up, that's where you're going to see on my channel. So just rubbing, make sure there's no air bubbles. And it does a little bit bend, but because you're doing both sides, it kind of works out, because it bends on one side and then after you do the other, yeah, it kind of dries out perfectly after. And you see, I don't put tons and tons of glue, just enough to hold it down. And here, there, I did a mistake. I realized I cut my paper wrong. I need my waves to go this way. I was so mad. But I said, okay, calm down. We can do this. So I covered my sun and the little bird here. And I cut my papers again. And I'll just have a big seam almost in the middle. But when you go see my second video, you don't see that seam anymore, because I made sure to line up stuff that will cover my seam. There's always a way to fix stuff, right? So there. Yeah, it ain't pretty. I even get a little bit of glue right there. I was so mad. Alright, so there I'm going to start trimming some more. I skipped some of this because I still had this video at like 45 minutes, and it's like, no, people won't want to watch me cut the whole thing. So I show you a little bit and I skip. A little bit and I skip. So I'm just trimming it away. And there. Look how pretty that is. And like I said, you're gonna want to use your sandpaper on each level. It just adds so much to it, I find, especially that it's a beach theme. And I covered the back of this one and the other one. And I use the same paper front and back. Front and back are both the same paper pattern. So there, I'm kind of flexing it back flat. And there's the other layers. I love the way all the papers match nicely. And here's my H. I'm just going to show you the same idea as what I did with the B and the E. I'm going to trace it. And then I'm going to cut that out. Oh, sorry. I taped that a little bit on to some thicker cardstock, so it's nice and sturdy. And pull that off. And like I say, you want to be gentle. And we'll pop that off. After I fix a little bit here and there. There's probably a better way of doing this, but that's how I kind of decided to do it, I guess. And it works. So whatever works for you. This was a pretty big project. Yeah. Just putting it together like this was a handful. So lucky enough, it was just a mini release, and I just needed to do, it was supposed to do 2 projects, but this is worth more than 2 projects. In my eyes, or in my, yeah. I wouldn't be doing this on a full release, having a bunch of projects every day, and then boom, this one, no. So I'm tracing the A and the C. I kind of think they kind of did the A pretty weird. I don't know. That's why when you cover it, it looks better. Yesterday I cleaned my craft room from the disaster from doing this. Yeah. It's not done. I still have some more to do. The living room part, because I do some cutting over there. That I cleaned up, but yeah, my craft room is still a disaster. So I'm gonna tape that down. I think maybe I put too much glue on this time. And then cut this. And then all our letters are done. I'm just looking. I have a post for Thursday and Friday of next week, so I'll be having some more videos next week, so Thursday and Friday, so look forward to that. Thursday is for CC Design, and Friday is again for Jada Blossom, and that's where I rip it a bit. I didn't panic. I just said we can fix it. We'll just put something pretty on it. So you can see a little bit of torn paper on my A. And there I'm gonna, like I say, just look where I need to take a little bit off. So then you have kind of like an equal balance of the back paper all around. Oh, and you know where the little like circles, the inside of the A or inside of the H or something, if you can't get like a sandpaper to go in there, you know the erasers that take your inks and stuff like that off, is like a sandpaper itself. That really helps too. So a sandpaper, yeah, eraser. So there, I put these on, and I'm gonna cover that little bird. That's what I'm trying to say here. And I'm gonna put my ribbon, and I put a bunch of ribbon just to dress it up, and I love the way it came out with all the ribbon. So I'm putting light blue. I'm gonna grab some pink here So I try to match the colors on the papers. So I hope this was helpful, and yeah, I did not create my album. Like, I didn't make the chipboard album piece. I got that. Like I said, I think it was a crossover hop we did. So a while back, a long time ago. So, and here's some polka dot green. So I thought that would be fun. Some polka dot green, a ribbon in there. And I have some peach ribbon that has polka dots also. So make it look like it's all matchy-matchy. It don't have to be all polka dots, I don't think anyways. Some yellow. And one more after this. It'll be the peach. And I'm cutting some a little longer too. As you can see, the yellow I went a little bit longer. So they don't have to be exactly the same. And there's my peach. With some more polka dots. Yeah, I have to finish cleaning my craft room so I can get going on next week's projects, so I'm not the last minute as always. Yeah, I'm bad, I know. There, I love the ribbon. It adds so much, I find. Makes it fun. So there it is. Like I said, if you look on my oh, there is the little gnome. So I had 3 of those on there. And there's the paper again. So if you go onto my page, you can see the full video of how I decorated my album, because this is just the base. But I thought maybe some people, I got asked yesterday about how I did the letters, so I'm thinking this will help someone. So I hope you like this video and it helps you, and I'll see you all soon. Alrighty, bye.